any other gadget kind of thing, right? To communicate between your client and server, we need a network, either an internet or LAN or intranet or SWAN or anything, right? That is your web. Okay, so the client will connect your server with your internet or some kind of communication network protocol. Okay. So that protocol is nothing but your HTTP protocol. Right? Hypertext transfer protocol.
Yes.
So basically this particular servlet session is entirely residing at your server, and we are going to learn that particular topic in the subsequent session.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. Servers. What does the basic responsibilities of the server? Right? Server is a computer that responds to the request from a client. Typical request provide a web page, upload a file, or send an email. Right? So server is nothing but whatever it is coming to it. It will process that request and do the operation whatever the feasible solution is. Let's say you have a web page, www.google.com. Right? When you hit google.com, it goes to a server. From there, when your request receives to the server, that server will decide whether it's a web page, or it needs to send a mail, or it needs to download a file, or it needs to stream a music, or it needs to show an image file, or whatever. That depends on your context type of your particular request. Right? So server will decide that at his own pace. That is nothing but your programming. That means whatever the content it has to respond, your program has to be respond accordingly. Okay? So server is also the software that responds to these requests. The client could be the browser or other software making this request. That means server is specifically not to be a hardware always. Server also could be a software tool, wherein which the software tool will be available for you as a server. That means all the clients can be connected to that particular tool. For example, Tomcat. Tomcat is a tool. That is a Tomcat server that can be resided on anywhere, either in your laptop or in your desktop or server class system also. Right? So according to that, the behavior will get changed. Behavior as in the fastness and the performance will get changed. Right? So a client could be anything. Your laptop, your gadget, or sometimes your TV will also become a client. Okay? Sometimes another software, another tool will also become a client. Okay? So your little computer is a client.
So the IBM, WebSphere, Glassfish, all these are just software, or they're a combination of server, hardware and software?
Those are the software. Software.
So they are installed on server systems?
Yes.
Okay.
You can install on any of your desktop or laptop anywhere.
Okay.
It requires a minimum system requirement, like minimum 512 MB RAM must be available, 2 GB hard disk keys must be available, kind of small system requirements to be present, but it is a software. Okay?
Yeah.
Okay. So typically your little computer is a client and somewhere else big computer is a server. Right?
Okay.
So we don't know how big is your Google server, or we don't know how big is our Yahoo server or any other. Right? So those are the servers, and we are utilizing their services through our browser from our laptop or mobile. So these are called as clients.
Okay.
But sometimes your server, your laptop itself can also become a server. That means if you deploy your application in your local system, in your Tomcat, in your local box itself is a server.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
It is not unusual to have server software and client software running on the same server. That means your Tomcat server and your browser both would be in the same system,
Mm-hmm.
right? So you can
Yes.
access from your localhost protocol.
So what is that? Can you say that? Yeah. Which protocol?
Uh, you can access that with localhost hostname
Yeah,
with your
localhost. Yeah.
HTTP protocol,
Okay. Yeah.
right?
Yes.
Okay. So to serve these servers, how our servlet will become activated, right?
Mm.
What is a servlet basically, right? So servlet is nothing but units of Java code that run server side. That means when you compile your normal Java file, that generates a Java C class, right?
Yes.
And that is your standalone Java program,
Mm-hmm.
correct?
Yes.
You know anything on RMI?
What is that? Can you say that again?
You know anything on RMI, remote method invocation?
Uh, I listened to it, but no, I don't know anything.
Okay, that's fine.
Mm.
So, except the RMI, all your core Java components are standalone. That means that works on the same system. That cannot call the remote system,
Okay.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, whenever your Java code, which is executing at the server side, that is nothing but your servlet.
Okay.
Okay. So, whenever your Java code, which is running at the server inside a particular block of your memory or block of your whole world, that is called your container.
Okay.
Okay. That container is nothing but, in our case, Tomcat server container. In other terms, you can call it as a servlet container.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, servlets helps with client server communication. Means any client can directly communicate with the servlet with the use of your Tomcat tool, because Tomcat is a server wherein which you have to deploy, or wherein which you have to put your servlet code inside that. So your servlet will become live and active. Then all your clients can call that servlet with the help of browser to Tomcat, and Tomcat will respond. Tomcat will send a signal to your servlet, and your servlet will respond it back.
Okay.
Okay, that
Yeah.
means if you look into the diagram here here, all
Mm-hmm.
your clients are directly communicating with your server, not with your servlet,
Okay.
right? Because
Mm-hmm.
servlets are inside your servers. That means there is a wrapper tool which is protecting your servlets to not directly being invoked by the clients.
Right. Okay.
Okay, so
Mm-hmm.
client will call the server will invoke servlet, and servlet will respond back to the server, and server will send it back to the client.
Okay.
Okay, this is a chain. Every request which is coming from your client directly hits your server. Okay, server then send it to the servlet.
Okay.
Servlet will do some processing here and send it
Mm-hmm.
back the response to the server. Then your server send it back as a response to your client.
Okay.
Okay.
Can you say?
So
Can you say?
all your requests. Yeah, go ahead.
Can you say about the container once again?
Okay. So container is nothing but the place wherein which your servlets are residing. Because
Okay.
your Java class is not by default a remote invocable class, right? If you have a simple Java class that cannot be called from everywhere, that could be called from within the same JVM, right?
Yes. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But if your Java class to be executed or to be called or to be run from multiple locations, something dynamism should be there,
Okay.
correct? So this container is a place wherein which it is providing you the dynamism for your all servlets.
Okay.
Okay, so this
Okay.
dynamism concept is nothing but your Tomcat tool or WebSphere or JBoss or whatever. Those are the server tools.
Okay.
Okay, so
So
your
so a
client
server
directly.
so a server
Sorry?
has many containers.
No, server will have only one container, but one container can have many contexts. Context is nothing but, let's say you have your own application app 1.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Yeah.
your friend is having another application called app 2, and I do have another application called app 3. Right? To
Okay.
execute these 3 different applications, I need not to have a 3 different containers. I can
Okay.
place these 3 different applications in a single container.
Okay.
Right? So
Yeah.
whenever I say an application inside a container, that application will call as a context.
Okay.
Correct?
Yes.
Got it?
Yeah, got it.
Okay. So every request need not to be a HTTP request only. But usually all your servers or all your servlets will be having your HTTP request. Usually.
Okay.
But sometimes if you want to have a different kind of request and response, then you have generic servlets also. We'll discuss
Yeah.
that more in detail in the coming classes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
Yeah.
Then, okay. So by default, as I said, but usually all our requests are HTTP requests. Then
Mm-hmm.
what are the HTTP requests mean? Right?
Okay.
So HTTP requests are nothing but a particular set of string which is calling our servlet for different purposes. That means my servlet is there and my servlet is having 4 or 5 different kind of functionalities up there,
Mm-hmm.
and each functionality should have a different identifier. So
Okay.
that identifier will get it from the HTTP request.
Okay.
Okay?
Mm-hmm.
That means if you look into the slide, when a request is being submitted from a web page, it is almost always a GET or a POST request. That means whenever you are typing something in your browser, let's say google.com,
Mm-hmm.
right? And
Mm-hmm.
what do you do in your search field? You do ABC and enter.
Okay.
Observe your address bar after hitting the search button. If you look into the address bar, there you can see www.google.com/search question mark and blah blah blah. A big URL will get appended over there,
Mm-hmm.
right? So
Yeah.
that is nothing but your get request. That means all your characters, all your whatever you want, whatever you receive, everything. Whatever you want, whatever you request, everything will be visible in your address bar.
Okay.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
But sometimes some requests will not be shown to you in your address bar.
Mm-hmm.
Some fields will get hidden. So
Yeah.
that kind of fields called as post request.
Okay.
Okay. So basically we do have two different kind of requests. One is get request and another one is post request.
Okay.
Okay. So how do we differentiate between get and post request? Right. So
Yeah.
that differentiation can be coming from your form tag.
Okay.
You know HTML, right?
Yes.
Okay. In your HTML you have a form tag.
Mm-hmm.
That form tag is having the attribute called action.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Right? That
Yes.
action will be your servlet name.
Okay. Yeah,
Okay?
and the method.
And type is another attribute
Mm-hmm.
wherein which you give the value as get or post.
Okay.
If you give get, whatever you are sending it to the server will be visible in your search bar.
Okay.
If you give it as post, whatever you are giving, whatever you are requesting the server will not be shown to your in your address bar, but directly it will send it to as a form. Sorry, directly it will send it as a post object.
Okay.
Okay. If you look into the third point, this is your get example, right? So whatever I type, that will get shown in my address bar.
Okay.
Okay. And if you look into the details more detailedly, then you have a question mark, you have an equals to symbol, and you have an ampersand,
And
right?
yes.
That means here from http://www.google.com/search, in here, this is nothing but your server name and your context name,
Okay.
right?
Mm-hmm.
After this context name, you have few elements which are being sent into the server.
Okay.
But there should be some separator between your context and your element.
Yeah.
Okay? So always keep it one thing. First separator is your question mark.
Okay.
This is your key of your attribute, and the equal is a symbol to have a value to that attribute.
Okay.
After that, subsequent attributes. So this is another attribute. This is another attribute. Subsequent attributes will have a separator called ampersand.
Okay.
Okay. That means first, only the first attribute will be in your question mark separator. All the subsequent attributes with the separator called ampersand.
Okay.
Okay. So that means here you are sending 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 different attributes are being sent to the server.
Okay.
Okay. So that means when this particular request has been reached to the server will analyze your number of attributes and act it accordingly.
Okay. Based on number of attributes.
Yeah, based on your values of the attributes and based on number of attributes, your servlet will get your programming. You have to program in a such a way. How many get requests are there? How many attributes are there? Accordingly, your response should be built upon.
Okay.
Okay. But there is a disadvantage with this.
Okay. Hello. Hello.
Hello.
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry, I lost my network. Okay.
Okay. were
Can you see
discussing
the screen
about,
now?
yes, but it
Okay.
says a device lost, a device removal during usage may damage, something like that.
Okay, okay. How about now?
And still I'm seeing that. So it says not viewing around customer screen. Yeah, I can see it now.
Okay. So basically there is a disadvantage with your get. That means we can't have millions of characters to be sent from your browser. Let's say
Yeah.
I have a huge letter to be typed and send it to the server. Huge as in I have uh, 20 pages or 30 pages of matter which I want to send it to the server.
Mm-hmm.
Right? That
Mm-hmm.
huge amount of data I can't send it to get request. There is a limitation to your get request, that is 1024 characters. That means beyond your 1024 characters, your get request will get suspended.
Okay.
Okay. So to resolve such problem and to give some secrecy to your data, there is one more method called post.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So the post method will never show anything in your browser address bar, but directly it submits as an object to your server.
Okay.
And there is no limit to your post method.
Okay.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Actually, sorry, there is a typo in this. I didn't realize.
Oh, put.
Okay, are you clear about get and post?
Yes.
Okay, you must be clear now because our rest of our servlets, JSPs, Spring, everything depends on this particular theoretical topic only.
Okay.
Okay, so let me know if you want to know anything more on it.
So the get method, you can know what the request is made because the URL is visible to us, but in the post method, how do we know what?
Post method you don't know, but in your form tag there is an attribute called action.
Mm-hmm.
The action attribute will decide that your HTML page should call which servlet in your server. Okay.
Okay.
In your servlet, there are several ways to get to know how many attributes are coming, how many hidden variables are coming, how many objects are there in the request. You can get that everything from your request object.
Okay.
Okay. In your get you can see that object, but in your post you can't see that object.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Moving to next. Right. Why are servlets? What is the basic purpose of those servlets? That means always we can't have static data. Right? In our HTML page, you can have static data, always static data. But
Okay.
our real-time scenarios will never have static data always.
Yeah.
Always dynamic data is present. That means for first request you get XYZ amount of data and for second request you get ABC amount of data.
Mm-hmm.
Right? To get that particular instant request and response, your servlets are there. That
Okay.
means your content is being generated dynamically.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? And other point is easy coordination between servlets to make web applications. Right? So
Yeah.
your web application is being dynamically generating from your database or from the other user request, or you can build your chat applications on through your servlet, and you can have several web applications through your servlet.
Mm-hmm.
That means your client and server is easily coordinating between your servers and servlets.
Okay.
Okay, and servlets containers support many features. That means servlet containers are by default providing you several added advantages like sessions,
Mm-hmm.
persistent mechanism, resource
Mm-hmm.
management, connection pooling, security, abstraction, and database connection.
Okay.
That means sessions are nothing but, let's say you logged in with your ABC user into one system,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yes.
And did you ever find did you find any error like you didn't get your data but you got some other data? No, right?
Mm.
Always you get
Yes.
your own data,
Yes.
correct? So
Yes.
because servlet containers are being maintained your sessions,
Mm-hmm.
and according to your session, your servlets will respond you back with your own data, with the current logged in user data.
Okay.
Okay, that is nothing but a session.
Mm-hmm.
Persistence is nothing but you want to store a few
Data.
objects to the server. So that is still possible with your servlet container.
Oh, okay.
Okay, resource
Mm-hmm.
management. You want to manage your files, you want to manage your images, you want to manage your address book kind of things. You can still manage that with your servlets and servlet containers. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so database connections, connection pooling, securities, everything is possible with everything possible related to your web application with your servlet containers and servers.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Yeah.
as we discussed, where are the servlets resides? Our servlets are always resides at our servlet engine, that is nothing but your servlet container in your server,
Mm-hmm.
right? So
Mm-hmm.
this is your client. Client is communicating with your web server in the HTTP format, HTTP protocol. Now, this web server is deciding whether your HTTP protocol is calling file system, static file system, or your dynamic file system.
Or your
If
dynamic?
it is dynamic content,
Okay.
if it is static content, then a text file or HTML file, then it need not to be inside your servlet container. It could be outside the servlet container also.
Okay.
Okay, but
Mm-hmm.
whenever your HTTP protocol request is requesting the dynamic content, then
Mm-hmm.
directly that particular web server request will be redirected into the servlet container.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so inside your
Okay.
servlet container, your entire servers will be entire your servers will be available.
Okay.
Okay, so combination of your web server and your servlet engine is nothing but your Tomcat.
Okay. So
Okay, that
what
means your Tomcat. Repeat again.
what is the difference between a web server and a servlet server?
Okay, I'll tell you. Okay, basically, servlet is meant for Java programming,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yes.
And web server is a conceptualized tool.
Okay.
And the purpose of web server is not only the servlet. The purpose of web server is request and response of n number of MIME types.
Okay. Yeah, I got it.
Okay,
Okay.
so
Mm-hmm.
one of the MIME type is your servlet.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, now
Yeah.
your Tomcat tool will serve both the purposes, that acts as a web server and
Mm-hmm.
also acts as a servlet engine.
Okay.
When I say servlet engine or servlet container or servlet context, all are similar
Same.
terms.
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
Yeah.
Okay. So are you clear why Tomcat is a web server and a servlet server?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Okay. When are your servlets are being invoked? Okay. First,
Mm-hmm.
receive request for servlet, And if the servlet is already available in your container, then is that the latest one? If it is, then use that. If it is not the latest, reload the fresh one and respond it back.
So what do you mean by latest one?
Can you repeat please?
Oh, so is it not the same always, the servlet? They keep changing?
No, that means let's say today you are writing a servlet, but down the line tomorrow your requirement got changed and you have enhanced your servlet.
Okay.
Right? And the enhanced servlet might not be loaded by your server. If it is the case, server will reload your servlet.
Okay.
To always get the fresh servlet and to always respond it back the fresh manner.
Okay.
Okay. So this is kind of your servlet life cycle.
Okay.
Then, what is Tomcat? Tomcat is a servlet engine that handles servlet requests. Okay? And it is also a helper application, and it is also a servlet container.
Okay.
As I explained you earlier, it is a helper application to serve your response.
Okay.
And also it contains your servlet container. And the installation of Tomcat is nothing but unzipping the zip file or just make it as a service. It's pretty easy to install and use.
Okay.
Okay. Tomcat is free and open source by Apache.
Okay.
Okay. You need not to pay any single price for that.
Okay.
Okay. So after all our pretty much basic theoretical concepts, I would like to introduce our servlet topics. Okay. So these are the topics which we will be covering in our entire servlet sessions. Okay. We'll first look into steps to run first servlet. That means how to write your first servlet and how to deploy that and how to execute. Then we'll get into what are the different kind of servlets. That is in your second chapter. And what is a simple servlet lifecycle?
Okay.
And then we'll get into more bit advanced concepts called as configurations. Then servlet context. How do we maintain the context kind of thing? Then we'll go to request and responses. What kind of request and how many kind of responses can be possible?
Okay.
Then writing a simple servlet application with all the above topics. Then servlets with JDBC. I would like to skip this because you don't need JDBC, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll skip that. That's okay. Then actually this particular PPT is a standard PPT we use for I use for all the students.
Okay.
Okay. If they don't want JDBC, I'll skip that.
Okay.
Okay. And the next thing is session management. How do we maintain the session? How do we kill the session? How do we reload the session? How to share the session between how do we share the session objects between multiple servlets? Built in all kind of scenarios in that.
Okay.
The next thing is servlet filters. That means let's say while your Tomcat server is loading or while your application is being deployed, before your first request is come, you want to have some initial scripts to be loaded. Such things can be possible with your servlet filters. I'll give you more details when we come into that one.
Yes.
Okay. So basically, first I'll cover the steps to run first servlet. Right? You need few things. Okay. So you need to have a directory structure under your Tomcat for your application. Then write the servlet source code. That means certain rules and regulations we have to follow. there is a difference between your normal Java class and your servlet class. That means your all servlet classes must be extended either Java extra servlet package or Java extra servlet or HTTP package.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, then only that particular Java class will be called as a servlet.
Servlet,
If not,
okay.
that Java class will be called as a normal Java class. Okay, then once you are done with your source code, compile that source code. Then you need to write a deployment descriptor. That means you have a servlet and you put it in your server. But how does your server understand there is a servlet and there is a request? There will be a request coming to this servlet, and you need to call this particular servlet class for this kind of request. How the server will get to know? It can't get to know automatically, right?
Yes.
Instead, the server, you need to write a particular XML file. That particular XML file will have a set of rules and regulations. That rules and regulations will be called as your deployment descriptor.
Okay.
So deployment descriptor is nothing but a XML file.
Okay.
Okay. Then after placing the deployment descriptor, put it in your Tomcat and run.
Okay.
If no errors, then directly go to your browser and call your servlet.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
So when I say about there should be a proper directory structure in your Tomcat, this is a whole picture, clear picture about that. So the folder structure is similar, either it is Tomcat 5 or Tomcat 7, whatever it is. There is no change. Okay? So you need to basically concentrate on your web apps folder inside your Tomcat. That means if you unzip your Tomcat zip folder, you can see a folder called web apps. Okay, inside web apps you can see several folders. So that each folder is an individual application inside your Tomcat. Tomcat by default comes with 2 or 3 different applications called manager applications, examples, and docs. Okay, so those are the default applications already available. So each application is called as context. Okay, so inside this folder structure, you need to place our own folder structure for our own application. Okay, so basically your main folder is your web apps. Create your own web applications here at your web apps. Right? Create a directory for your own application. So this is my directory name. Vis-a-vis, this is my application name. Okay, and inside my application name, I must create a subfolder called web-inf in a caps. This must be there.
Okay. So this is just for Tomcat or any server?
No, this is a standard rule created by JSR community, Java community, and all the server engine should be followed that.
Okay.
Right? So this web-inf must be available inside your application always. Okay, this is a standard rule across all the servers. Okay, inside your web-inf, you could have a subfolder of that web-inf called classes. That means all your compiled servlet classes will be should be available over this place, classes place. Okay. Then only your servlet engine can execute your servlet. Okay, these are pretty much basic rules we have to follow. If you want to take a notes, you can better take the notes.
Yeah, I'm taking the notes. You share these slides with me, or?
No, I will share you the application source code, but not the slides.
Okay.
Okay, so basic, what do you say? all your applications should be available in your web apps folder of your Tomcat. Inside web apps, you must have to create a web app for your own application related folder.
Okay.
Inside your application folder, there must be a web app on INF folder.
Okay.
Inside that web app on INF, you must be having a classes folder.
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
So one more thing, you don't need to worry about creating it manually. Once you use Eclipse, I'll show you how to create that. It creates automatically.
Okay.
Okay. So,
Yeah.
but you need to understand these concepts pretty clearly.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
For times you need not to times you should not get Eclipse wrong, right?
Your voice is not clear.
Yeah. Yeah. You should have enough information with you to write your own application without Eclipse.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Then, in our application, we have two folders. One is your application folder, one is your WebNF folder, one is your classes folder. Right? Then what is the purpose of each folder? Right? So here it is. All my static content is directly inside my folder, my application folder directly.
Okay.
Okay. All my dynamic content is available inside my WebApp and INF folder.
Okay. So inside my app there is a folder called WebINF, right?
Yeah.
In that there will be the dynamic content.
Correct.
Okay.
And your deployment descriptor must be also available inside WebApp and INF.
Okay.
Okay. Web.xml is nothing but your deployment descriptor. Okay. And all your servlet classes, compiled servlet classes must be available inside your web classes folder.
Okay.
Okay. So this is the basic purpose of your folder structure.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
So a pretty basic and simple sample servlet code. Okay. As I said you earlier, there is a big difference between your normal Java class and your servlet class. The first difference is your extends HTTP servlet. What is extends?
Inheritance.
Correct. So that means HTTP servlet class is being inherited to my own servlet class.
Class. Okay.
Okay. Then the second thing is you need to override a method called doGet.
Okay.
What is the difference between overwrite and override?
Overwrite and override.
Yeah.
Override means there will be a default. Yeah.
Just a minute, Venki.
Okay, no problem.
Venki, go ahead.
Yeah, in the override, we are basically inheriting this doGet method. if the inherited class have some method, we are saying it not to execute that method but this method.
That is called overwrite or override.
Override?
Right, RADE.
Yes.
Okay. What is overwrite?
I have no idea.
Oh. Okay.
I have never listened of override. I know overriding and overloading.
Okay, what is overload?
Overload is polymorphism. Like if the number of parameters change, so with the same function name.
Okay.
Yeah,
Good.
you got what I said, right?
So this particular, yeah. So this particular do get you are overriding this from your HTTP server. So
Okay.
you must have to give the same syntax code here. You must have to follow do get HTTP servlet request, HTTP servlet response, throw servlet exception and IO exception. You must have to follow the same exception mechanism and throws and params.
Okay. So if you override, you will get that, right? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. You must have to do that to
Okay.
fulfill your HTTP servlet response. HTTP servlet class extension.
Okay.
If you don't do that, then it will not become your HTTP servlet and it gives an compilation error.
Okay.
Okay. Now,
So is overwrite
what
and
is-
overloading same?
yeah, go ahead. This is override.
This is no, is overwrite and overloading the same?
Yeah, both of them.
Okay.
Okay, HTTP servlet request. This is a special class designed to get all the request related information from your browser.
Okay.
Okay. This is HTTP servlet response class, which is you are writing the response to this object, and this object is sending it back to the browser.
Okay.
Right? So request which is coming from the browser, response which is response which is sending back to the browser.
Okay.
Okay. So always our output should be added to the response.
Okay.
Right? So here, how do we write it directly to the response browser? To write that, we need to get a print writer as a object. That means whatever I have been writing here, directly print it on the browser.
Okay.
Okay. You need to get that object from response object with the method called getWriter.
Okay.
That means response.getWriter is allowing you to write something on the browser on the web page.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Okay. So your web page or your web browser always understands only HTML as a language.
Yeah.
It will not understand any other language. It just understands your HTML.
Yes, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So your output must be also in your HTML format. That's why always our out.println is in your out.println should contain all the HTML related information.
Okay.
Out.println HTML begin tag, head begin tag, title begin tag with servlet testing as a title and closing my title.
Okay.
Then in the next line I am closing my head, beginning body, writing something in my body, closing my body and closing my HTML tag.
Okay.
Okay. This is a pretty simple HTML response.
Okay.
Okay. So once you write this class, next thing is your compiling. Right?
Yeah.
You can compile that from your command prompt with this command, but always we compile basically from our Eclipse.
Okay. Uh-huh.
Then after compiling, we need to provide the deployment descriptor information. That means we have written a servlet, but this servlet should be understandable to the server also,
Okay.
right? So to get it understand to the server community has provided a standard deployment descriptor information in the
Okay.
XML format. That means whatever the server you choose, either Tomcat or WebSphere or WebLogic or JBoss or anything, the deployment descriptor is same for all.
Okay.
Okay. Then for each individual servlet, you need to concentrate on these many things.
Okay.
Okay. For every servlet, if you have 4 or 5 different servlets, you need to repeat these sections multiple times. 4 or 5 times. Okay. So here I'm starting my servlet tags, which is nothing but I'm declaring a servlet. What is my servlet name? This is my servlet name.
Okay.
Where my servlet class is available, my servlet class is available in this package, in this class name.
Okay.
Right? Now you declare your servlet in this particular tag.
Okay.
Right? So this section is nothing but mapping your servlet URL format. That means how this servlet should be available to the client. Right? So
Yeah.
in my mapping, I'll say servlet name hello X. That means this name and this name should match always.
Okay.
Okay? That means here you are declaring a servlet and here you are referencing that particular servlet.
Okay.
Right? Now, URL pattern is nothing but how my client should access my servlet. My client should always access with the pattern called /hellox.
Okay. Yeah.
That means if my browser request is coming as /hellox, first of all, my server engine, Tomcat engine, will read this particular deployment descriptor and it will search for this URL pattern.
Okay.
And if my URL pattern is matching, it will check the servlet name.
Name. Okay. And then the servlet class.
And this name is already defined and declared here, and it will go and execute this particular servlet class.
Servlet class. Okay.
Okay, got it?
Yeah. Give me 1 minute. I'm
I'll
just
repeat
taking. Yeah. Okay.
Okay. I'll repeat again. Your URL pattern is nothing but how your client or the browser should communicate with your server.
Okay.
Let's say if your browser is having is calling from the address bar, if it is having /hellox, the Tomcat server first it reads your deployment descriptor URL pattern.
Okay.
My URL pattern is matching. When it matches, it immediately checks for your servlet name.
Okay.
So my servlet name should also match in your servlet declaration.
Okay.
Now my servlet name is also matching in my servlet declaration. Then this declaration is having a servlet class. Immediately go and execute this particular class
Okay.
inside your Tomcat.
Yeah. Can you go back to the previous slide once?
Okay.
So here the program name is hellox.java, right?
Correct.
You have to give the servlet name in the XML mapping same, or we can give it anything.
See, if you let me choose a highlighter. Okay. So this is nothing but your class name.
Okay.
This must be matching there. This must be matching your class name with the package name.
Okay.
Okay. Your servlet name could
This
be
can
anything,
Okay.
but the same thing should be reflected here.
Okay. Yeah.
Your URL pattern could be anything,
Okay. Yeah.
but always remember your servlet name over
Name.
in your declaration part and servlet name in your mapping part
Mapping
must be
should be.
same.
Okay. I got it. Yeah.
Okay. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Okay. Then running the Tomcat. That means you just place your folder in the Tomcat and restart your Tomcat. That itself is enough to execute your servlet. But
Okay.
how to call and execute that? For that, you need to go to your browser and your servlet must be called in a specified format.
Okay.
That means you must have to provide the protocol. Then you must have to provide your server name.
Okay.
Then you must have to provide the port. Then after that you must have to provide the application name. Then you must have to provide the servlet name.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
So for our example purpose, we are always
Using local
running
host.
and deploying our application in our local server,
Yes.
right? So
Yeah.
always we'll be using local host.
Yes.
Okay, so this protocol is always HTTP, so I'm not telling anything on it.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. Now, this port by default Tomcat runs on your port 8080.
Yeah.
Okay, that's why you must have to give port 88.
88.
And the separator is colon.
Okay.
Separator is your colon.
Colon. Yeah.
Okay. Then there is a slash. That means till now my domain name and port has been given. Whatever I give after this particular first slash, that is nothing but my application name.
So, okay. Yeah. Application name.
If you look into the previous slide, my application name is my app, right? The same application name must be given here.
Okay. Yeah.
And after that, I have to give my servlet name. So you can give hello X also.
Okay.
This means whatever is there in your URL pattern, that must be given here.
Yes. Yeah.
Let's say your URL pattern is different and your entering here is different. Then your Tomcat doesn't understand what you are looking for, because your URL mapping is not having that name. So it will not resolve to any, and it gives you error.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. I have a question. Is the HTTP and HTTPS the same? Like we can use HTTPS also from the browser?
No, the HTTPS is a different purpose.
Okay.
I'll give you some introduction about that at the end of the session.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. So for now, you consider only HTTP.
Okay.
Okay. The next is about the servlets and servlet packages. What are the different servlets are available? What are the different packages are available? Okay. So before going to that, you have any queries?
No.
Okay. You want me to execute a sample program in Eclipse?
Yeah. If you have time, you can. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll execute the first one.
Okay.
Okay, can you see my Eclipse now?
Yes.
Okay. So this is my servlet, first servlet. I have imported servlet exception, servlet and servlet request and response.
Okay.
I have extended HTTP servlet.
Uh-huh.
Font size is okay or should I increase?
Yeah, that should be fine.
Okay. Okay, I'm extending here. After this, I'm writing my own do get method.
Okay.
Here I'm overriding that, which is annotation. Servlet is having servlet request, servlet response.
Okay.
And it is throwing servlet exception and IO.
Okay.
Right? So now, as I said, always my response would be in the HTML format. So that's why I need to, this is by default content type. Response.set content of text slash HTML is the default content type. Matlab, that means you are letting the browser know which kind of content you are giving as the response.
Okay.
Sometimes you can give it as a image, sometimes you can give a movie, sometimes you can give a JavaScript file, sometimes you can give a CSS file.
Okay.
But here we are giving the HTML file,
Fine.
and
Okay.
even if you don't give this, by default it's a text slash HTML.
Okay.
Okay. Now
Yeah.
my response is having a get writer method. That means get writer is sending me a print writer. So this out object always executing the HTML tag. Okay.
Yeah.
Once I'm done everything, I need to do out.close.
Yeah. Okay.
Once you are done this, this is how you have to write your simple servlet. Then after that, you need to map that in your web.xml.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. So this is your sample web.xml. This is your servlet description, display name. These are not mandatory things.
Okay.
Important thing is servlet name, my servlet, and servlet class.
Okay.
Where your servlet is being executed. My servlet name and this is my package.
Yeah.
Okay. If you observe the servlet mapping, you have servlet name.
URL.
Must be similar to your servlet description, the servlet declaration.
Yeah.
And the next thing is URL pattern. My URL pattern is slash my servlet.
Okay.
That means from browser, I have to always give my servlet, then only that will get executed.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
I'm just trying to start the server. Okay?
Have you already started the server?
Yes.
Oh, you just clicked on run.
Okay. Can you repeat again?
How did you start it? How did you start the server? You just clicked on run.
Okay, you have to right click on your servlet, run as,
Okay.
and click on run on server.
Okay.
Okay? Then your server starts.
Okay.
Once my server started, by default my servlet is executed.
Okay.
Okay, if your servlet is not executed directly, you have to give it like this. HTTP as a protocol, colon // then my local host, then port 8080 with colon as a separator, then slash myweb. Myweb is my application
name. Yeah, and then the servlet.
Then this is my servlet is your servlet name.
Okay.
Okay, that is being executed.
Okay.
Okay, so coming back to the topics.
Okay. Can I know which Eclipse
I'll
version
explain
are you
you.
using?
This is Juno, very latest.
Okay, because I have downloaded Kepler, I guess.
Which one?
Kepler R.
Kepler, okay, that's okay. That is
Yeah.
advanced than this, but that is still in beta version.
Oh, okay.
Juno is a standard version.
Okay.
Standard as in the stabilized version.
Okay.
Okay. We'll discuss Java Expert Servlet package now, and in the next class onwards, we'll discuss Java Expert Servlet.htp package.
Okay.
Okay. So basically, my Java Expert Servlet package is having these many classes: Servlet, Servlet config, Servlet context, Servlet request, response, and thread model. When I start the servlet, I said by default all the servlets are HTTP servlets, right?
Yes.
But there are a few non-HTTP servlets are also there, which are called as generic servlets.
Okay.
Okay. For that, these are the packages. Sorry, this is a package and these are the classes and interfaces.
Okay.
Okay. So my interface servlet declares the first basic life cycle of our servlet. Okay, I'll explain the basic life cycle in the subsequent classes in our next class. But
Okay.
just understand it now. Okay, servlet config allows servlet to get initialization parameters. That means when my servlet is being executed, when my servlet is being created, if it is expecting any parameters, this servlet config interface will provide that.
Okay.
Next thing is your servlet context. That means enable servlets to log events and access information about their environment. Context is nothing but your total environment of your application.
Okay.
Okay, that is your servlet context. Servlet request and response.
So
I think
what do you mean by environment? Yeah.
Okay, environment is nothing but, let's say, my app is my application.
Okay.
Right? Inside your servlet container, my app will take some place in the server, in your Tomcat server.
Okay.
That particular place will have some properties.
Okay.
So to know that properties, you have to use servlet context.
Okay. Okay.
Like what is the name of my application, how to create a session within my application, how many sessions are being maintained, what is the memory of that. You can get such kind of environment variable, environment detail.
Okay.
Okay. So servlet request and response you are aware of, right? You are aware of this too, right?
Yeah.
Next thing is single thread model. That means your servlet should serve only one request at a time.
Okay.
This is a synchronization method.
In a?
Okay, we don't use this at all, but as a concept, I'll explain you.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, coming to the classes, generic servlet, which is the implementation of your basic servlet, and serves for all different purposes rather than your HTTP.
Okay.
Okay. Servlet input stream. That means provides an input stream for reading requests from a client. Your client requests are being read by this particular servlet request stream class.
Okay.
Okay. Servlet output stream. This means whenever you want to write an output to the response, your generic servlet pattern, then you have to use servlet output stream. Okay? Your exceptions are servlet exception and unavailable exception.
Okay.
The exception occurs in these two formats.
Okay.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'll explain you this HTTP package in more detail tomorrow because it takes some time to explain this and give some example on it.
Okay, yeah.
Okay? So we'll discuss on the servlet, we'll discuss on this javax.servlet.http package and lifecycle, and we'll write a sample program. We'll deploy it into the Tomcat on your next class.
Okay. So you're going to help me installing Tomcat, configuring Tomcat?
Yeah.
Tomorrow?
No, now. You have time now.
Yeah, I have time.
You have time?
Yes.
Okay. So I'm changing the presenter to you.
Okay.
So you share your screen. Share me your screen.
Show my screen, okay.